We're live. Alrighty, and welcome to tonight's live stream. This is Garage Talk with NOVAtazz and friends. Just butchered my own. NOVAtazz Garage Talk with friends. I got Chris from Firebird Nation's Car Club with me today. I do believe I have some others joining me as soon as they can get in. But we'll just start with me and Chris. Chris, if you want to say a little bit about your Firebird Nation's Car Club.
Okay. Hey, hello everybody. Hello Sean. Thanks for bringing me in. Basically, it's Lena got me into the club. It's been around for I guess 10 or 15 years. I'm not exactly sure on the time frame. She got me in as one of the trustees for the East Coast. And last year when they held their elections, they voted me in president. So just trying to promote the club and get it going. I started a YouTube channel. Just got a couple quick videos in there right now, so I can learn how to edit and do everything else. Just a straight raw feed on the live part of it. And to promote the club, try to get, anybody that's interested in buying, the Firebird line. You don't necessarily have to own a car to join the club. We'd love to have everybody, anyone that knows anything, is bonus for everybody involved because it'll spread the knowledge and teach. That's basically it. Just trying to using the club channel to try to promote the club and generate some more membership in the club.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to do like two things while you were doing that. So, I don't know.
And I know it's got international members because there is an online car forum for the club that they've had started for years. That has international, there's the membership branch as far as the car forum is international, people, but the actual car club itself, it's a separate charter club away from the forum. That we're actually trying to promote and build that, start holding some events or whatever, just a place for people to gather and enjoy the cars.
Right. Hopefully my, I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh, wow, this light is really bright. Hopefully my lighting is a lot better today than it was last week. I installed an LED light up underneath the desk, and I think I have a newfound respect for people that do a lot of webcam shows. I mean, I've been doing it basically with just a light in this room here. But like I know a lot of people have like that ring light in front of them and different other lighting objects in front of them, so that way they appear better. And I think I have a newfound respect for those individuals because this light is bright.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better than you had last week.
Well, I mean, last week I looked like freaking. Well, yeah, I looked last week. I looked like Phantom of the Opera with one half of my face was all. I can even get this brighter because I have a piece of paper here. Oh, that's blocking half the light because it's that bright.
You do have the excuse that last week you could use it. It was sort of a masquerade party because it was your birthday bash.
It was my birthday bash, and I wasn't prepared. I wasn't even going to get on, and because it was my birthday bash, but it was also Mother's Day, so we didn't get home until like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and basically I threw everything together within like 15 minutes to get on camera as quick as possible.
It worked. That's the main thing. Yeah, and you had a couple of people in that were able to join you, so that helped out. So
say that again?
Even again, we say belated happy birthday.
Oh, yes.
As usual, on the road driving like I normally am on a Sunday night. It's a rare occasion where I have time to sit. I had every intention of joining this week from the house, and where I could sit down with a computer and just relax. And the whole load this week just got switched around, and I was supposed to load early Friday morning, which would have still enabled that. But I was sitting at the warehouse ready to check in, and the customer called me and said, "Don't load nothing. We have something else that's changed. We're going to split your load. We don't know how much you're loading here yet." So that gave me a 3-hour delay, which is just totally, yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, which means now you're still stuck on the road.
I missed a tech day with the car club over here locally today, where they sponsor a tech day where they bring all their Pontiacs out and the general public come in and ask questions. The Miss Fireberg actually took her Formula out too, so I could join that basically with a on video, a video call with her to see some of the cars.
Right.
It was beneficial.
Yeah, mine's still in the garage, and I got the battery box in. I'm not sure. I think I might need some photos of how that whole area goes together, because like in my Nova, when the battery box is bolted in, the battery tray, the battery doesn't go anywhere. The box doesn't move, and this one it's flexing, and I don't like it. And I don't know if I'm missing a bracket or if it's missing a bolt to something or what have you. But I don't like how I feel like it's going to bend, and the battery tray is going to end up,
buckling a little bit or flexing.
Yeah. And I have a feeling it's not in right, but none of that stuff was in there on my car when I got it. So, like, I'm flying blind as to what that whole area of the car looks like, because mine was completely gone.
I wonder how closely related your car is to my 10th anniversary.
I don't know. As long as the battery box is on the driver's side.
Yeah, it is. It is both on the 79 10th anniversary and the 1980.
But yeah, I had to drill a hole in the in the core support because it didn't have a hole there.
Okay.
So I had to drill a hole out, and obviously it doesn't have the nuts welded there because the core support that I got it off of, the battery tray was on the opposite side. It was an earlier one.
Okay. Now, if you don't come up with any pictures or anything beforehand, I know when I get back home again this week, I could go over to the garage and take some pictures of that area with the on the 80. While it's under the battery box on the driver's side of that one as well. Maybe take some pictures from underneath and the top. Well, and send them to you.
Be helpful.
Just to see if there's
all right, so we have
that much difference in it.
No, I wouldn't think so. It's just a matter of, am I missing pieces? You know what? I need to lower you guys. You guys are way up there, and I catch myself looking lower than where the camera actually is. So we're gonna bring you down here. And tilt you up a little bit. There we go. All right, now I feel like I'm actually looking at you, except for I'm still looking at the computer. But anyway, yeah, it's a matter of just trying to figure out where it is. So we have Classic Ride Society in the house. We have Car Mods Garage, and we have Mrs. Formula 71, Hammer Down Motorsports. Welcome, Steve. And we have Stupid Fast in here. And I feel like an idiot because he's my theoretical neighbor, and I've forgotten his first name. I am horrible with names. I don't know who Nikolai added into the group chat. Jonathan, duh. But I don't know who Nikolai added into the live stream group, but
yeah, it's gonna be the only fun part is trying to keep up with that.
The live stream chat, or the live the chat in this
mine
live
is so
stream.
small over there on the dash. You know, I reached that nice educated age where you got to have those artificial enhancers in order to read that tiny small print on the medicine bottles and all that.
Oh,
they don't work driving.
You guys can't see it, but I have my chat. The words are like this big. I mean, like I blow that my pop out chat box. I blow the letters up real big, so that way I don't have to be like, what does that say? I can just sit back here and chill, and I can read it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am some days, reading directions to get into places. It's like, yeah, where they said to turn where again, you know, and it seems like, you know, some of the areas of the country go, you know, you'll have some of these Garanteron street signs, you know, that are hanging in the middle of the traffic lights. You know, that you're coming up like
Right.
half a block away. It's like, oh, okay, there's my street right there. You know, then you get up to another one. They got this little postage stamp on a light pole that's stuck like 15 feet off the back section. You're okay. Do I turn there? You know, it's always blocked by something, or you got other traffic going by. So it's it's that part where you hate to admit that maybe you need to go see an eye doctor and
I have
take
no idea what you're talking about. None. I've worn glasses since kindergarten. Because I couldn't read the board.
Yeah, it'll be a new experience for me. Not that I'm bragging. I'm the only one out of my family that's had perfect vision ever since we were kids.
Right.
But you know, hey, old age catches up with you, and it's not forever. I know that.
So Steve is asking, is it raining here? Yeah, it's motherfucking raining here. I mean, we had massive lightning up here, and I don't know if it's raining now. Weather check, is it raining now? It is not raining at the moment.
Yeah, I'm actually celebrating. There's a little bit of sunshine and some clouds. I mean, I started out this morning where I was at, and I was running in a snow and an ice storm. I'm like, come on, it's the middle of May.
You're far enough west, it's still light outside, isn't it?
Yeah, right now it's beautiful. 53 degrees, I'll take it.
And it's dark and it's wet. And we had 80. My car thermometer said 89 degrees today.
Oh wow! Yeah, no wonder you have a thunderstorm set tonight then.
Right.
So have you already tackled your beverage of choice for the day?
No, I haven't. I forgot to make the trip to the beverage cooler before I hit the start button, and now I kind of feel stuck here without a beverage. And unfortunately, the NOVAtazz Garage live stream chat room does not come with a serving winch, so it is serve yourself.
Yeah, I'm stuck with glorious old water, but.
Well, you better not be. Your beverage of choice better be non-alcoholic.
Yeah, water or tea. That's it.
He will run right through you, man.
The penalty for anything stronger than that isn't worth the.
I would not.
It's not worth the $300K a year loss that it would entail if you were caught.
Not to mention if you were to accidentally, well, I shouldn't say accidentally, but negligently injure someone else while enjoying your beverage.
Yeah, it's not a good scenario all the way around.
No,
I've known a couple people that you know they stopped somewhere, they had a good steak, had a dinner, whatever, and they weren't too tired, thought they'd go take off and do whatever, and that they had an adult beverage with their meal, and they got caught with it, and anymore with our new rules and regulations, it's pretty much a 1-year suspension automatically on the spot just for sniffing the cork if you're caught. So yeah, I pretty much saved that one. I'm going to be parked at home for 2 days. Yeah, that way I got the day I can do, and then I got a day of clean out, and then back to work the day after that.
So story of the day today was the drawing for the C7 Corvette giveaway, and I do believe a young lad from Colorado won the car today, which I did not.
Yeah, I was going to say you're obviously not in a excited state of bubbly.
No, and I don't know if I would have had to hide the fact. Well, no, because they announced it right away. I guess I didn't know. I wasn't sure if I did win it, if they were going to make me be quiet till the video was released, or how that would have worked. But did
they do anything special with that car, or was it pretty much a bone stock?
No, it was a highly optioned Stingray. So it came right around, I think he said like 79,000 sticker price. It was like the upgraded interior, you know, had some other, you know, upgraded features. Then they put a Corsa Extreme exhaust on it. They switched the taillights out to the Z06 style taillights, so the smoked clear. So they did that. They put a aero kit on it. Obviously the vinyl wrap, along with like a clear bra. And I think there was something else that they did with it. Maybe a cold air intake, I'm not sure. And Steve goes, it wasn't a Firebird, I don't want it. Yeah, but you know what? The exposure, not to mention the fact, you know, I mean, and this is going to, they actually just perfectly segued into the next part of my chat that I wanted to have. What happens when you win one of those? Not like what happens, but like, you know, like you had the last guy who won the teal one. He sold it like a month and a half after he got it. Now, I don't blame him. When I was looking at what it was going to cost to own that car, insurance on that thing alone is like $200 to $300 a month. Just the insurance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but between the high cost of insurance, the tax bracket that you get thrown into just to pay the sales tax and everything in order to get it registered.
Well, you don't have to pay. They were paying all of that.
They were paying, okay. Yeah, I know most of those giveaways. You know, that's the little small print they get you. You got to pay the sales tax and the tax tags and all that stuff. And you know, sometimes depending on the vehicle, I mean, it's essentially going out and buying 2 average family cars just to pay the taxes for something of exorbitant. But like you said, had you won that car, the exposure and the kick that would give your channel, just, you know, 1 for having the car, 2 for, you know, what little bit of video you could do going to events or driving around, and 2 just to put your name on it. It's you would stand out anywhere.
Right. The people in here that are saying they would sell it immediately. Now, I don't find the benefit in selling it immediately. I would hang on to it for a little while, because you want to hang on to it long enough that you ride that initial wave of people flowing to your channel. If you get rid of it right away, you're basically wasting that, because as soon as they see that you got rid of it, they're not sticking around long enough to see a couple videos, to, you know, to forget about hitting the unsubscribe button, whatever, what have you. You know, you don't have the opportunity to do collabs with other people, you know, that could also, again, gain you more exposure. I would have kept it for a little while. I don't think I would have kept it for the long run, unless my channel blew up crazy to the point to where I could afford to own that car for the long period of time, you know, with maintenance and all that on it. But I definitely would have kept it around long enough till the shock value of it wore off, to the point to where you would have to start changing it up to keep interest. You know, given that I would have written it out long enough to see where it would have taken me. Then yes, you sell it. That's at least 50, 60 grand in your pocket. You know, if not the full, if not the full, almost 70 grand for it.
The side benefit of that would a cushion to live on, and you could have finished Jean Grey the way you wanted to.
Well, yes, or whatever I wanted to do. Put a nice down payment on a house with a garage, you know, what have you, whatever. But like I said, if you were to sell it immediately, you're losing some of that benefit of you know, what it could bring to your channel. Classic Ride Society is saying, I don't need those subs, I want old school guys. But the problem is old school guys are not the ones watching YouTube. They're not the ones that are going to make your channel grow to the point to where your channel starts helping to pay for your hobby. I mean, yes, we all do this for fun. I mean, obviously, I'm not getting paid enough to cover what I put into it, but you know, it's a nice little cushion to where you can then do things you want to do because the cash flow is coming in. I mean, you got to think of just about the amount of hours that you put into a video. If you do it right, you know, you still want some benefit, some kickback from putting in all of those hours. I mean, that those are not necessarily hours. Those are hours you could have spent in the garage just tinkering away. You're not just filming and putting it on YouTube necessarily strictly for shits and giggles. You know, you obviously want to get yourself out there at some point, otherwise you wouldn't be putting your stuff up on YouTube. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm all about the money. I'm not. But
no, because you're enjoying a hobby that you enjoy, and you're working on the vehicles that are basically the passions of your life. And
right. I don't
like
necessarily
doing the live show here, you get to share in the camaraderie of everybody that you get to talk to and interact with. It's just a bonus. You know, and whether it's just a simple conversation or
the thing is these live streams. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, they help you build your watch time. I was gonna say, just say you got a question about something that you're working on, and I'm sure you've done that with other live shows you've been on or somewhere. You know, with the following that you have and the other people you follow, you have like a, you know, it's almost like an encyclopedia source, to put it into that analogy. That, you know, hey, this is the problem I have. Does anybody got any ideas, or does anybody have anything that they experienced that will help me fix this, or have you done it completely?
Correct, and that's where the group of channels that I follow, which are called the Garage Gang, that's where they come in. But like Classic Rights said there are big channels that deal with old schools. Yes, there are lots of old school car big channels, but what the problem is it's not necessarily the older people that are majority of the people watching things on YouTube. So if you could tap into that younger crowd, the younger crowd does more of the liking, sharing, and things like that, and the lots of watch time, which is what you need for your ad revenue. The older gentlemen don't always sit on YouTube.
Right.
So I mean, it's a matter of balancing. Yes, you want to tap into the people that are knowledgeable and have that.
Yeah, because it's an invaluable resource.
Right. You don't want to exclude. So I want to do things that will not only bring in the people that like old cars, but also I don't just like old cars. I like new cars too. So I kind of want to bring in those people as well. I mean, you look at some of the bigger channels that have gotten really big really quick. You got Goon Squad. They're up over 1 million subs, and when I started watching them, they were well under 20,000 subs, and that was only less than a year ago. And why did they get big? Why? Because they hit so many different areas.
Right. Yeah, their content has something that appeals to basically everybody.
Exactly, and that's the point. And no, you don't have to do stupid stuff that kids like. You don't. I mean, look at Goon Squad. They're not stupid. They don't do stupid hijinks. They don't do weird shit. They don't do stupid stunts. They don't act like they know it all either. They had a base knowledge, and they're learning as they go, and they're bringing you along with them.
And some of what they share are the mistakes they make that make them look, and they'll say, yeah, this was stupid. We shouldn't have done this, but we did it, and we're going to show you why we did it, why we shouldn't have done it, and what we learned from it.
Exactly. And the thing is they didn't start, I mean, yes, they're doing big cars now. But I think their first couple cars was like a Subaru and a Jeep. I think that was their, so, granted, yeah, but the thing is it's not that Goon Squad says gives us kids dreams that they can buy a Lambo. But the thing is they didn't buy a Lambo right off. They did the smart thing. Okay, what they did is they bought a cheaper car. They started like they probably started closer to like what Hammerdown did with his little Rio. Um, you know, you start small. You don't put a lot of money into it. You turn around, you flip it, and that puts money into your pocket to buy the next one. And then you can, and if you do it right, you know, you end up, you know, turning enough of a profit that you can put that into a better, more recognizable car the next time. And that goes with anything as far as, you know, selling anything. You know, like you take a smaller project and you turn that around and you build it, and then you turn around and get rid of it to fund the next bigger project.
Right. It's like climbing a ladder, run by run.
Right. And you know, but I don't have. Yeah, so like what Goon Squad said, they worked up to it and their content is entertaining, and that's exactly it. You don't have to necessarily be into modern cars to be big. The problem is you got to learn how to market. You know, it's necessarily marketing yourself, and knowing how to. I mean, yes, I can stick into one little tiny niche area. Well, I'm only going to attract the people that are into that niche area. You got to learn how to appeal to more people and more interests. I'm a classic car guy. You know I am. But I also have a Dodge truck, and I also have a Kia Soul. Well, I don't own the Kia Soul. It's just as Kia Soul. But you know the thing is that's all different areas of people that I'm reaching. So you're broadening your base of viewership is what you're doing. You take Mr. Mach 1. If he only stuck to the Mach 1 Mustang, his base would be a lot smaller than it is, because he has the Mach 1 Mustang, he has the Miata, and I think he has another car as well. Well, each one of those is possibly a different segment, attracting different viewers. You know, just like Steve from Hammerdown. You know, if he had just the Camaro, things would be different than him having the Camaro, the trucks, the quad, the snowmobile, the little mini bike. Everything he does attracts a slightly different group of people, and that helps the channel grow. Bringing in different facets of what you're into, it helps people get your whole thing. And yes, agree. Classic Ride Society is right. It does have a lot to do with personality. Whether or not I am the best on camera or not, I have no clue. I don't think I am. But, you know, there are people out there that probably do like how I am on camera, even if I don't like how I am on camera. I find that I'm much more relaxed and chill doing these live streams than I am filming by myself one-on-one. You know, go ahead.
Like you said, you know, everything, you know, when you get 2 or 3 people in, it doesn't matter where you're at or what you're doing, whether it's at work, here in your channel or other channels. You know, when you're doing something live, you get 2 to 3 people in a conversation, and you're going to have a different point of view, which is going to generate the conversation and keep rolling it over. And the more that you get into it, the more active it becomes.
Correct. Speaking of, guys, if you haven't shared it yet, let's get some more people in here. And if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Let's get some more people in here. We'll get this conversation going. And the more people we get in here talking, like Chris is saying, the more entertaining this is going to be for everyone involved. I know I've shared it a couple places, but if you can, please do. That is one of the biggest ways to also grow your own channel, is to get other people to share your content. Because, you know, you can go fishing in a pond, but there's only so many fish in your pond. It's when you can able to cast your rod into different fishing ponds that you will catch different fish. You know, otherwise
you're just going to keep use the correct bait to attract them.
Right. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter how many people get to click on the link and come here. If they don't like what the content is, they're not going to stay. because right now I'm at 27 playbacks and 6 viewers. So I definitely know there's been people that have been popping in and out, but you know that's the name of the game anyway.
Yeah, and that's the one problem that I will probably have with the Firebird Nation channel is the fact that it is for the club. So it's going to be a niche market per car type of thing. You know, I'm just trying to.
Well,
and I'm still new.
also,
So, I mean, the channel's been open, what, 3 weeks?
What you need to do is you need to be able to take the footage that your people get you and edit it into a interesting to watch way. I'm not sure if you saw the video I did with the
coffee and cars.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You could literally just take all of the footage and stick it back to back and just copy and paste it all together and put it up there. You can easily do that. It's quick, it's easy, no editing. You just slap all the pieces of video together and throw it up there. I've done it before.
Right.
I admit there are days where I just don't feel like editing, to where I just need to get the video up there and done, and I don't have a whole lot of time to be playing with cutting and splicing and putting different transfers in and sound bites and all of this other stuff. You can literally spend days. I mean, it took me, that video is only like,
yeah, I saw that one video.
Well,
I don't remember which one it was now. You said you worked on it for like 3 weeks before you had it where you were satisfied to put it up and actually put it out there.
I think, well, I mean, it took me 2 weeks to do that. Well, it didn't take me 2 weeks. It took me about 6 days to get to the point where I wanted to start working on it, because I knew it was a bunch of small little tiny clips, and small little tiny clips are a pain in the ass. They are. It's just 10 times more editing. But, you know, and I also knew I hate car show videos. They're a pain in the ass because of, again, like all of the editing and the fancy stuff you have to do with them just to make sure that they're not boring. You know, I mean, it's one thing to go to a car show as yourself and walk through, you know what I mean? Sitting down and watching somebody else walk through a car show, you know, without cuts, without whatever, it's boring. You know,
right.
You know, so you have to do some flashy stuff, and you know, then you got to play with the freaking music, because God forbid there's music from the car show in the video, and But anyway, that video was only like 3 minutes. I guarantee you, it took me probably 6 to 8 hours of in front of the computer time over a week to put that video together, because of all the stupid stuff that I had to change, add, cut, splice, slow down, fast forward, chop up, you know, to get it to fit the music, to get it to fit the flow of the song and everything else. Not to mention, I went and paid for I wanted to sign up for a music thing to be able to get a decent song, because most of the free ones you find just roaming around on Facebook that all you got to do is tag their links in the bottom, they're so overplayed, and honestly, they don't inspire me at all.
Yeah, they don't fit the theme of what you're trying to put out there when you're putting a video together.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't have actual like words or vocals to them. Most of them just sound like really horrible edits of other songs, and it makes you cringe.
That makes you chase your adult beverages down.
Yeah, I gotta go get one. But Classic Ride Society, just cutting and pasting all the clips and throwing them in are not going to get people to stick around and stay. Unless they're like me, I love watching, like I watch Tom Noble and Rare Rat, and a lot of them, that is what they do. They don't even edit it. They literally just turn the camera on, talk, and then turn the camera off, and they piece all the clips together, and that's it. You know, and yes, that is great, but I'm trying to be bigger than that. I don't want to necessarily just get 100 to 200 views a video. I want to be a little bit bigger, to the point to where I can help sustain my hobby, because my income is not sustaining my hobby. Hammer down. I do that all the time, and you know what? I'm tired of doing that. I don't like the music that I find. I'm getting annoyed with it. I have there are certain songs that I hear in other YouTubers' videos that I went to go look up. And yeah, if you don't are not subscribed to that service, then it will throw a copyright flag if you use that song. So you do have to watch that. I mean, some of the songs that some of the other YouTubers are playing are literally only copyright legal because that company is basically allowing you to use it, which is what I did. The song that I played in that Steel Tax video was one of those songs, and it's a song that I've wanted for a while and literally thought about it, and all of the benefits that I found, all the sound effects and everything else, and the way that I can search, I can pick apart and just take the bass line. I can just pick the treble line. I could pick just the vocals. I can just pick just the instrumentals. I can mix that song how I want to, and then download it and use it in my video. It just gave me a
So
lot
once
more
you
options.
subscribe to those services, does that basically give you a license, like a copyright license of
Yeah, for that
like,
music.
Permission for that music, whatever they would have on their system?
Right, and even if you leave the site, as long as even if you leave the group, any music that was put into your videos before you left, you can still have in there. So like if you leave, the videos you've already created will still be licensed, but you would
Okay.
then not be able to put that music in newer videos.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
The site that I joined was called, and it's cheap. It's only like $13 a month. So hold on.
That's not bad at
I'll
all.
find out what it is. No, it's not bad. I mean, it works on a tier. So obviously, when you get above a certain viewership tier, obviously then the price will go up because obviously you're reaching a lot more people.
Now, what kind of a
But I
library
mean, I
do you
think
have
it's like
available
well
to you?
over. It's a big library, all kinds of stuff. But I wouldn't suggest doing it until you start making some money back off of it. You know what I mean? Epidemic Sound, EPIDEMIC, and it's a lot nicer than the stuff that that you get off a YouTube library. It's a lot crisper, a lot cleaner. It's a lot more professional sounding. I don't know. I just like it.
So you probably spend an average of what, 3 or 4 hours possibly for a video to find what music selections you may want to add into it?
Well, with that video, I didn't have to go searching very far. I knew exactly what I was looking for. Like I said, I bought it. I went after that subscription for literally 2 or 3 songs that I knew that were on it that I wanted, and while poking around at it, I found some other music that I want to use in different other newer videos. So, because I mean, I have a bunch of videos coming up that aren't going to be a lot of necessarily me talking. I have the video coming up for the jewelry cabinet that I did for Jess. I'm in the process of doing the cedar like footboard chest.
Veneer chest.
Yeah, I have that one coming. I have a video on the entertainment unit that I built when I was still living in Auburn on the horse farm. I have some building videos of furniture or customization videos that I have wanting to come out, and they're not necessarily going to be, you know, really a whole lot of cut and paste because there's not going to it's going to drag if there's not something to keep the flow moving. Agreed. I don't want the same music everyone else is using. That's another thing is I got tired of using the same music over and over. And I'm not necessarily very big into the like the club beat stuff. I like a lot of rock and country beats. And the problem is that is one thing that the copyright free just does not cut it. The guitar riffs and stuff like that you do find that are for rock and roll, they're so forced, and trying to be as close to a well-known song that, like, I've used them. I've used them in my cargo videos. You know, I've used ones that sound like Leonard Skinner. I've used ones that sound like, different other popular rock bands. They're just enough off that the copyright music doesn't catch it. But again, it's also like going and buying, off-brand, SpaghettiOs. It's close, but it's not SpaghettiOs. Or mac and cheese, whatever you want to throw in there. It's the same thing. It's close, but it's not. Let's see. It's hard to find country. Yeah, it is. It is really hard to find country on thing. But you know what? This epic sound, this sound. You know what? I think I can play. I can play that music on here. If I can find something on my phone to play. That's the other thing is I can then play music. I can stream music from that site while having live streams. It's where are you finding things to
fill in the dead air,
more
or less.
Log in.
Then having yourself available to the exact moment you want it without having to search forever for it can be a...
Well, I mean, you do search, but it's not necessarily hard to search. It's a lot easier to search than...
The search engines are far easier to use than what they used to be when you're trying to find something, that's for sure.
Right, let's see if I can search this by... like I said, I don't know how well this is going to play. I'm just picking one, so... Always when I'm trying to play on my sound bar.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and go?
Well, no, I'm at home, so it immediately connected to my sound bar to play music on, because that's what I normally do.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know, can you guys hear that? And it sounds just a lot better than the stuff you find on YouTube.
This California weather, it's like 90 degrees. It's making me hot and it has the same effect on me. It's just something about the way that he's making me feel. My insides are out, I just want to shout his name. My body's giving up on me, cause I don't know what to do with my fingertips.
See, the cool thing is I can stop playing. I can then like take the lyrics out if I want to. If I just want to use the beat to it, I can just have the lyrics. So I mean, there's 650 country tracks alone.
Everything from old to new?
No, it depends. Sometimes you can sort them. Sometimes they're sorted by moods. You can sort them by popularity. It's a lot easier to use on the computer than it is on my phone. That's just the...
It's been you all along, but I've been too caught up to see it, baby. We can have it all.
Like I said, you gotta play with it and find out what. Like I haven't played with in the country section that much, but I mean, you can definitely find what you're looking for. So, I mean, I haven't. I don't know what artists are what kind of country on here yet because I haven't played that much in here. Those were just two random ones that I picked. So I don't know. Hey, that's a little old school country.
I'll have to thank Miss Formula for the reminder.
But you know, that's stuff that's better than you would find on the regular YouTube, just searching for copyright-free music. I got so frustrated trying to do that and searching through so much junk because stuff wasn't organized by genre, nothing. It was just literally the title of the track, and you know, you're just supposed to guess and play it. And I just spent hours listening to music that I didn't want to listen to. But I mean, I guess it's just part of stepping up my game as far as trying to grow. So I mean, I'm gonna step out for half a second. Hopefully, I don't lose everybody. I'm gonna go grab my beverage of choice.
Oh, beverage time. You should grab two for everybody. I'll have to give Miss Formula a thank you since she reminded me about Edith up there on the windshield who has a loud mouth and doesn't know when to be quiet every time you make a mistaken turn according to her wants and desires. So I shut it off. I think it was probably chiming in last week with the live feed when we were on last week, going off up there when I was on route to where I had to go. And
yeah.
Yeah, trying to get the volume adjusted down at that spot. It's a pain.
Yeah. I hated your advice. I grabbed one for everyone else. That is definitely a frosty mug. And of course, it's going to go everywhere.
You did that a couple weeks ago, too.
Well, that's because I didn't fucking tilt the glass like I normally do. And so it got too much of a head.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I used to be able to pour beer so good that it almost never had a head.
Perfect liquid, no foam, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself. I was trying to convince that guy there a couple weeks ago. I said, like, you need to drop one of them kegs of Guinness on the floor so it rolls in the trailer and let me leave.
Just need to nick it with your forklift.
Yeah. I tried. I told him there's a little bit more. Says, well, I don't want to knock that pallet over. It's fine. Just a little bit more. It didn't work out.
It also didn't help that this freaking mug was so freaking iced when I pulled it out of the freezer, too.
That's the way a mug should
be. Not a bad
be.
little mug, right? Well, yeah. I keep all my mugs in the freezer. I have... Okay, so like you know, like a regular a house refrigerator has the freezer door above it, and how it normally has like two shelves in it. Okay, so my freezer, it does have the two shelves. The lower shelf, so the part closest to the fridge, at least half of that bottom shelf is nothing but glass.
Well, there you go.
I could literally
run a glass with every bottle.
Oh, I do. Well, I can. If I feel like wanting to do that many dishes. But yeah, I mean, I have more glass somewhere else. It's not even in the fridge. It's still packed away. I could technically probably fill that freezer with glass.
I used to have one, and I don't know whatever happened to it. It was, I mean, it was reusable. You could stick it in the fridge, but it had like a double lining. You had, a glass outer or glass inner, and then had a gel-like substance that would freeze in between, whatever it was made out of. But once you got that done, and refroze, I mean, the thing lasted forever once you poured a drink into it. But it had a little switch down on the bottom, too. You could turn it on, and it would throw colored light up through the center of it.
Right.
So it would sit there and change colors while you were drinking.
That's pretty cool.
But in the course of moving and other situations, some of that stuff kind of went by the wayside with somebody else's help.
Well, yeah, we all know that one.
Uh-huh.
I've had a lot of things go by the wayside with somebody else's help. But
I actually laughed one time at a situation like that. They bragged up and down. We sold you toolbox in the yard, so I laughed. I said, well, why is that? I says, well, number one, I never had a toolbox of that color. Number two, I would have never left it in the trunk of the best car. And number three, it actually belonged to your other boyfriend because he came and asked me about it. I said, yeah, she sold it in the yard sale. Go have fun. So it was.
I don't even think she was smart. I don't even think that she was smart enough to sell that shit. I think from what I've heard through the grapevine, it got lost in a storage unit that she put him in that she didn't pay for. So
yeah, look.
Didn't even
throw it away, right?
Well, yeah, and she didn't even. It sucks because she didn't even benefit from it. But that's bygones. It's gone. Nothing
that's
to
it.
Do.
Water under the bridge. Let it go over Niagara Falls and gone.
I think a certain Trans Am fan wrote a song about what happens when you split from your ex.
Yeah.
It's on my CD. That's in the Trans Am. I forget what the fuck was the title of it. Something about splitting it down, splitting everything in half, but she got the better half or something like that. But time is it? All right, cool, my friend. We should have some more people showing up in the live stream here shortly, hopefully.
It'll come to you here after you're done tonight, probably.
Oh yeah, it will. In fact, I could probably look it up.
Yeah,
and how is his name? Who's the guy that does
choice tonight, Dennis?
No, you didn't see me for it.
I didn't catch it. Okay, Yingling.
Today is not a Guinness Day. Guinness days are special days. Today is not special.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a certain highlighter yellow Corvette going to be in front of my house, it might have been a Guinness Day.
Yeah, you would have. That's what I said. You would have been all excited. And you might have even started the stream an hour early just to celebrate.
I might have been streaming as soon as I got out of work. I was in work today. I was sitting there with my phone while I was at work, and I like my coworkers knew that if my phone rang, they were gonna come relieve me so that way I could go take the phone call. So, but yeah, no phone call. And then Mike being late was just killing. I'm sitting here waiting, and then we're 11 minutes in, and 15 minutes in, and he puts a post up saying that he's late, that I got another 15 minutes. I'm like, oh. And then of course he doesn't post the fact that somebody actually won and who it was until 40 minutes later after 12:30. So it was 1:10.
Anything to build the anticipation and suspense.
Right. I don't own a gun, so I'm gonna have to ask Jess what her favorite gun is, because I don't own one. Believe it or not. Jess, what is your favorite gun? Which of the two that you own is your favorite? The 30-06. What is all the lights outside? Well, that was all lightning. Wow. Looked like there was a fire truck out front. She said a 30-06. Which
It's kind of hard to beat a 06.
Hers, I do believe, is yours not a pump action, is it? It's a bolt action 30-06 with a cartridge, right? Yeah, and it's a 30-06. It's got it's bolt action, and I know that she's got like a 4-round cartridge, I think, for it. And it's got a sight on it too. I like guns. I am not by the farthest reaches a gun expert. I'm not. I just like them. I couldn't necessarily tell you what one was what by just looking at it though.
Yeah, I used to have one that we nicknamed the Mule. A bunch of us had to get together and shoot, and I brought it in, and it was a 338 Win mag shooting a 250 grain bullet. And pretty much, you get 2 or 3 shots out of it, and you were done with it because your shoulder was killing you. You know,
my shoulder's killing me now because of my work injury.
Straight hardwood stock, you know, no recoil pad. There was no muzzle brake on it. It just yeah.
I don't think I would suggest me firing any kind of rifle right now at all. Period, unless I was using my left shoulder.
Yeah, anything big not recommended.
No, I mean I just had an MRI. They stuck me in a freaking sausage tube for an hour and a half. Oh, that was definitely tighter than I wanted to be in.
Yeah, they're not fun.
We got Jason just showed up in the house. He's for once he's in the chat and not up on the big screen. Hopefully, us talking about guns doesn't bring Uncle Sam in here like it did the other day. Were you? Yeah, you were in here, Chris, weren't you? When I had all of the 3-letter branches in here.
I believe.
There's the rain. It just started pouring here again.
It's not like anybody needs a huge influx of rain after all the spring flooding.
All right. You keep setting off the car alarm out there. Car alarm out there keeps doing that little like warning chirp. At the camper, internet isn't great. Oh, okay. You're not here. Okay, that's okay. We need to get like Send It Steve in here. That'd be freaking awesome. Not that, you know, the guys that are in here now aren't awesome. Hey, Skinny Shop is in here. We're starting to get some people in here. Why don't we rehash some of the topic we had when we first got in here? You were to win a car, whether it be from like I know that the Bethlehem casino gives away cars every once in a while. You know, and obviously people on YouTube are giving away trucks and stuff like that and cars. What would you do if you had won a giveaway vehicle? And I'm not gonna be as specific as to exactly what vehicle it is. I mean, the last 2 giveaways that I saw, which were the LBZ truck that Dirty Max Jack just gave away, which that truck is absolutely freaking gorgeous. That dark maroon with the black, with the big old dually tires. That thing was a nice truck. I think I probably would have liked that more than the Corvette, but I wasn't buying. I would only have been able to afford to get 1 or 2 entries into that truck.
I'd probably take a couple days off just to get over the shock of winning to begin with.
Right, and like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a 70s muscle car that's been restored. It could be, you know, a brand new vehicle. It could be an SUV. It could be a boat. You know, it could be anything. Yeah,
I'd definitely take a couple days off. I mean, one to get over the shock and at least a day to celebrate, because I've never won nothing like that in my life. So it would.
Well, I mean, yeah, because either way, it could either be a lottery ticket, you know, because you know you're going to turn around.
Anything of that.
You could be turning around to sell it for cash or to use it or what have you. I mean, like I said earlier, you know, if I would have won the Corvette that they were giving away today, yes, it probably would have been sold eventually. But I think I would have tried to ride the wave and get as much other benefits out of it other than money as much as I could before I turned around and got rid of it. I mean, I understand why people get rid of a lot of the vehicles that you see that they get given because they're not financially ready for. A lot of people are not financially ready for what that thing that they weren't planning on getting is going to do to their budget.
Yeah, it's like a new car we just bought. It's unexpected, you know, nice. Just the insurance alone, I made shot the insurance an extra $300 a month.
Exactly.
Just for that one vehicle. So it's a juggling process, but
yeah, you got to shuffle shit around. Oh, this should be on this charger here. I'm still feeling out this new desk here. It's getting everything situated. Oh, this thing fell again.
But definitely shop around craze. I mean, I've had the same cut rate, basically, insurance company for years just because it was convenient. So, yeah, now it's time to look into something a little better.
Well, yeah, you got to see if you have something that's going to be a little bit more flexible with payment and coverages, and you know, who knows, switching to a different company may actually get you a better deal. You may actually save some money too.
Yeah, that combined with the number of vehicles we got. I mean, I know they can get a multi-vehicle discount that way. So.
Oh yeah. Now, do you have all of your vehicles on your insurance, or just the ones that you normally drive?
Just the 4 that I normally drive are on my policy, and then Lena has her policy. She has her like 2 or 3 regular drivers. You know, so that way there's always something. If something breaks down, and then she has a separate policy for the. Well, I do too for the Trans Am.
Fleet
it's
insurance.
Basically an agreed value.
You do. You guys definitely need fleet insurance. You have a fleet of muscle cars.
Well, she went through and counted here a week or so ago, and to the best count that we could get up to. Now, not everything is running, but the best count we could come up with is between the two of us, we have somewhere around 18 vehicles at the moment. Between all the Firebirds and the other toys and the regular, you know, daily driver use items.
Right.
So yeah, she's got a point with fleet insurance.
All right. I have, let's see, I have the 2 Novas, which I don't know if I can necessarily count them as cars. I mean, the one is literally just a front subframe and a you know, it's basically a roller, an empty shell. And then the other one is kind of basically the same thing, except for it still has its hood, its front fenders, and it has an engine and trans in it. So, I mean, that one technically runs, but it's gutted. Well, it'd run if I'd hook the wiring back up, but other than that, it's gutted. And then I have the Trans Am, and then there is the truck, and then Jess has the green Kia, and right now we're using a gray Kia Soul as well. So only 2 of those are running and driving right now. Does anybody have any idea how many likes we have on this video yet?
Near as I can count, we got somewhere between 9 and 10 that we could drive at any given moment that are licensed and insured. But between the 2 of us, but I mean that's between the house out here and where I work at back in PA. You know, I've got 3 there. Plus the one Trans Am.
Yeah, I'm looking at possibly saving up enough money to be able to get the carburetor fixed for the TA here. I don't know. Something always seems to come up, and I know the money ends up needing to go somewhere else. but I can try. But I'm waiting to see if Elliot's going to get on here. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
Now was he the one that had to work late tonight?
Yeah, he
Or
always
works late
works
every
till
night,
10.
basically?
Yeah, he works till 10, so he normally pops on just after 10. I don't know if Matthew's
He's
getting
got
on either.
one of them weird shifts that messes you up.
Well,
I
he
mean,
works at Walmart, so of course it's going to mess you up.
yeah. Used to have a job like that. I mean, bounce around. You'd work mornings a couple times, then you'd have an afternoon, but you couldn't really plan to do anything because of the time that by the time you did an afternoon and got home, it was too late to do anything. You went to bed and, you'd sleep from that, so it kind of eliminated getting up in the morning to do anything because you had to be ready to go to work the next day again.
See you, Steve. I used to like working second shift when I worked on it because I could get up and I could work on like this time. At that point, I was driving the Nova as a daily. I could get up. I could go tinker around with the car, whether it was stripping down a fender and priming it or whatever I was doing that day. I just had to make sure that I was wrapped up by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to be able to drive the car to work. So it was nice because I could get stuff done during the day and then I would work in the evening. And then most of the time I would get out at like 11. I got out at like 11, so I could still get out and go to the bar and hang out with my friends or whatever, or go to their house and chill till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, get some sleep, and still be up by like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning to be able to do something during the day.
Yeah, that worked out for you then.
Well, that was obviously before family and things like that. So, but it was a nice shift at that point for me because it was a Monday through Friday job. In fact, yeah, we all third shift got off on Friday at 11 o'clock as well because they came Friday nights. They came in at 3 and worked till 11. Their shift sucks though because they would work basically 11 to 7 in the morning, Monday through Thursday. So they would get out of work Thursday night, Friday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and have to be back at work by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I did that for 1 week. I absolutely hated it. I got 4 hours of sleep total that whole week.
Yeah, never. So I used to one of my first jobs out of school was as a security guard, and I was essentially the low guy totem pole filling guy. So my regular shift was started 9 o'clock Thursday night, and I'd have my whole work weekend by 5 o'clock Sunday. Monday morning because they had one on Sunday, but then I was always getting called to cover somebody else or somewhere else through the week.
Well, and that's kind of how that happened with me. I was a low man on the totem pole. The third shift guy went on vacation for a week, and everybody else turned it down. And then it came to me, and I couldn't turn it down, so I got stuck on that shift. So I got stuck on that shift for a week. I came home Friday night at 11, went straight to bed, and I woke up at noon the next what I thought was the next day, but no, it was noon on Sunday. I slept all Saturday, like did not get up. I slept from Friday night at like 11:30 till Sunday afternoon at noon.
Yeah,
Straight.
yeah,
it wipes me out.
It does. It wipes you out, and you're not any good for anything. To give Miss Formula
really
significant numbers, you understand. 426.
Yeah, I lost a whole day sleeping. Like literally, nobody heard a hair from me all day Saturday because I never got out of bed. I never even woke up. I mean, I guess I would have had to have woken up and gone to the bathroom at some point, but I don't remember it. It scared the crap out of me because I was like, nobody thought to check on me at all day Saturday, and my friends lived right next door. But you know, that was definitely a weird experience, losing a whole day to sleep. So, is there anything exciting going on in the car industry that I apparently haven't paid attention to all week? Oh my God! It is. Look who it is. Chris, you wouldn't know who this is, and I'm not sure if anybody in the chat right now knows who this is, but this is definitely a very famous celebrity that I need to talk to, because my North Carolina spring water jar is empty.
Okay.
Yeah, where is this spring water jar? There it is. Huh. This is a lovely lady that is lives down in North Carolina, that came up here to the YouTube call outs up here in and when she came up here, she happened to bring up some nice refreshing spring water, and I happened to be out of my spring water. That was a couple episodes ago,
Yeah,
though, wasn't it? We were actually all
awesome spring water down there.
Oh, yes, it does. In fact, if you would like to join the live stream, let me know, because I would love to have you up here. I could use another buddy if you've got your Google Hangouts account still there.
Pilot, I'm sorry to hear you sold your Corvette. Hopefully you find another toy worthwhile and is worthy.
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck, though, because we did try to help you keep it, but you know, some things are not within or are not meant to be.
I can understand where he's coming from, though. I mean, you have something that you've played around with or done and then something freaky happens, and it just disgusts you. I mean, I've been in that position where something happened, and I got disgusted with it, and all right, someone come up with the right offer at the right time, and hey, it's yours, take it. Good luck with it.
And Lola, I'd love to come down to the Lot Motorsports Park, but I'm not sure how much that weekend would cost me, and yeah, I mean, I did try to go down with Steve, but he's not looking for anyone to go down with. I was trying to hit a ride with him, because I don't know if I necessarily wanted to make that trip driving it the whole way.
What is the Hyperfest that she's talking about?
It's a car shenanigans.
Okay.
You've heard of the Cletus, you know the show that Cletus puts on.
All right.
You know who Cletus is?
Yes. Yeah, kind of like his
okay,
Cletus and Cars events.
Yeah, kind of like that.
All right.
I saw a clip that she put up on YouTube. I know definitely saw a burnout box. I'm just gonna guess it's a big car show. Well, it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, I can understand where you wouldn't have wanted to do that. But how the hell did you bend a connecting rod in storage? How much is the I forget what they're calling it. Yeah, how much is the thingy this next weekend? It's Memorial Day weekend, which is also my
Did he end up having some kind of a water leak or something happen into it? I don't know if antifreeze over the winter, and maybe hydrolock it.
Maybe a hydrolock, but he said it didn't even fire up, if I remember correctly. He just turned it over twice and it stopped moving.
Yeah, that's almost what it sounds like possibly happened. In order to bend a rod.
Right.
Either that or something, like you were saying, something dropped down through the intake somehow, which doesn't seem likely, you know, on the far remote possibilities, and then jam down inside the head and the piston.
Yeah, because it's not easy to bend a connecting rod, especially unless you're doing some. Yeah, you have, exactly. That engine's got to be spinning pretty good to bend a connecting rod, I would believe. Now, push rod, that's, you know, different, but you can look at them wrong and bend one of those. Oh my God, we got Joey in here. Would Joey like to come back up here on the big screen and join in on the video chat, or would he like to just stay down in the actual word chat? I'm looking for another buddy to come up here, so we have at least 3 people to talk to up here. It helps keep the conversation going a little bit more when you have more people in the video part of it. $20 to watch, 40 to race, free for 12 and under. Yeah, it's then it comes to the most expensive part, which is somewhere to stay, because I'm not going down there and then driving all the way the hell back home, because I think it's is it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or is it just? I'm thinking it's a 3-day event. I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I technically work on Friday. Two-day event. Is it Saturday, Sunday, or is it Friday, Saturday? Saturday, Sunday. $20 for the whole weekend, or $20 per day? Is it raining by you there too, or am I hearing my own rain? Chris.
Keeps it busy.
Is it raining over there by you?
No, it's a little bit cloudy, but there's no rain at all. They had
maybe I was hearing your truck.
They had some small rain this morning when they started their event. I guess it cleared off this afternoon. Yeah, I haven't seen any
the rain here. It's rained off and on all day here.
Yeah, I hit the border back there between Wyoming and Nebraska, and the sun was shining. I was like, oh wow, what collected great breath of relief, because when I started out in Wyoming this morning, they said I was running in snow and ice and freezing fog, and then all the electric Indians over the interstate and on the sides were predicting, winter storm warnings in effect. I'm like, come on, just give it up already. Now, I've been seeing winter since last July. I'm sick of it. It's done. This is the middle of May. Bring on the flowers,
All right. They're really debating on whether or not to go down to North Carolina next weekend.
It'd make for a fun trip.
It might. I don't know. Depends on if it would be financially worth it.
Well, a whole lot of it will be conducted too, and just how much spring water you intake while you're down there. If you get that far.
That would depend on who I brought with me.
I know we went down there a couple years, down there to Taylorsville. A guy had basically hunting Russian boars and turkeys in the spring.
What I tell you?
There you go. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers
to everybody. It was a unique experience in the fact, not only was it the first time we're hunting for them, but like you said, the spring water for the Carolinas, the establishment was owned by Jerry Rushing, which a lot of people say, well, who's Jerry Rushing? Well, the easiest answer to that is anybody that watched the old Dukes of Hazzard's TV show, if you can remember the guy that played the part of Boss Hogg's used car salesman at Boss Hogg's used car lot, Jerry was the guy that played the character on that show. And the money he made from that show, he opened this hunting reserve back in North Carolina where he grew up.
That's cool.
So he had all the pictures.
Yeah, I don't think I would argue that. I don't think I would argue cash for my vehicle either. I'm sure he wasn't bitching about the price either. You know, even if you have to pull the engine. I mean, though, if I had to pull an engine, I think you said it was, what year was that Corvette? I think, you know, as
This was an 84,
cliche
wasn't
as
it?
it is, if I had to pull a motor out of a smog Corvette, I don't think I would be putting a smog engine back in it.
No.
Yeah, it's an 85. I think that I would definitely be putting an LS in an 85. The 305 that would have been in that car, even if it was the TPI 350.
Actually,
You
it
know,
was a 350.
right, but
They
I don't
didn't.
think that I don't think I would be. I think I'd be stuffing something with quite substantial more power underneath the hood of that car.
If you can call 180, 185 to 190 horsepower something to brag about.
Right. Yeah, when you are not even making 1 horsepower per cubic inch for a small block, that's not making a whole shit ton of power.
No. And especially for that car.
No. Well, you got to
Even
think
with,
about it. My inline 6 that was in my Nova when I first bought it was making about 190 horsepower. No, I lie.
pre-smog.
No,
Or
it
no,
was
this
making
would have been the
100.
beginning of smog, right?
It was 100. It was 105 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque.
Now, what year was your first Nova when you were running?
It's a 77.
77. So you were
Both of them are 77.
you were right there at that, yeah, basically catalytic converter age.
Oh yeah, it had a catalytic converter on it at one point.
Now, did they do the air pump on that at that time as well?
Nope, no air
Or was
pump
that
on that
before the
car.
air pump?
That was a
So just a
California
cat.
thing. In 77, that the air pump was a California thing. And it was or the V8s had the air pump. The inline 6 did not have an air pump in 77.
Okay.
At least not here in PA. And that's you know what? And that saved my ass, because when I put the 305 in that car and I went to go get it inspected, he's like, "Oh, it's got to have an air pump on it." I said, No, it doesn't. This car didn't come with an air pump. And it has, and the funny thing is even though I had a 305 in it, it still had to be the emissions that was on that car
Per manufacturer date.
Right. Well, no, and it had to be with what was on that car per the option level that was on that car. So because that car had the inline 6 and not the 350 or 305, it didn't have an air pump on it.
Okay.
So even though I put a V8 in it, I still didn't have to put an air pump on it.
Oh, that's a good thing then.
And it had to have an EGR valve on it. It just had to be there. Because I kind of took a BFH to it when I went to go put the Epidemic carb on it, because the Epidemic carb didn't clear the EGR valve.
Yeah, you can almost say God bless carb and some of the ridiculous stuff that they've come up with that has come down the line.
Yeah, so I just smashed it all down. It was still there. Technically, it was on the car. Can you say it was technically functional? No. Because the whole vacuum actuator that sits on top of the EGR valve, it was goat meat. There wasn't anything left of it. I went and bought some high flow catalytic converters from an exhaust shop up here, and that is what I had them on for the first inspection. Immediately after I got it inspected, I took a jack handle and rammed it up through them, cleaned them all out. And then obviously from then on out, they were catalytic converters, but they were empty.
Yeah, they were real high flow.
Oh yeah. So it was literally the headers, the high flow cats into a Flowmaster 40. Originally it was a thrush turbo, muffler. And then I ended up switching to the Flowmaster 44s, which are actually the same ones that are on the TA right now. I salvaged them off the Nova and stuck them on the TA. And then I had, and then it was straight out right in front of the rear tire. When I didn't even go out behind them, I went right in front of them. Because in PA, the law is it needs to be behind the last opening into the cabin. Well, sure. So all I had to do was put it past the back past behind the doors. And they went straight out the sides.
Now, do you have the subframe connectors on that, or you just come out between the unibody
Nope.
that come straight out?
No. Dude, that car is an inline six car, still running all of the inline six stuff, including the front springs. The only thing that I did is I put the rear end out of a 1980s Firebird in it. So it's got a 1980 Firebird rear.
Hazy?
No, it's an open diff.
Open, okay.
It's an open diff. Obviously, with doing that, I had to shorten the spring purchase. So I had to cut the spring purchase off of it, move them in an inch, and re-weld them back on. Because like when I bought the whole thing, I thought I measured everything correctly, and when we got it back to the car, nothing fit. So we made it fit. That rear end is 2 inches overall wider than the rear that originally came on that Nova. And it's 1.5 inches longer from the center of the axles to the pinion, the pinion shaft. So I had to shorten the drive shaft. I had to cut the spring purchase off, move them in, re-weld them on. Hey, we got Pinky in the house, another one of my friends. Pinky's in the chat, Jess.
Hi.
Huh? She can't hear you. You would have to pop in and say hi.
How did that?
Jess says hi. Huh?
Did that help your handling at all? Any significant?
I have no idea. It was a lot heavier rear because that went from originally the car had a 7-inch rear with multi-leaf rear suspension, and I broke that. I still had the inline six in it, and I completely cremated that rear end.
Okay. Yeah. You did a mild build on your V8, didn't you?
Not yet. Well, now. At that point, like I said, I was still running the inline six.
Okay.
I did a neutral drop. I dropped that sucker from about 28 grand and dropped it into drive.
Oh.
Now that works great when you're on regular flat macadam. I could light up the rear tires like you wouldn't believe. In fact, you wouldn't believe it, but that ending credit to my videos I have right now where the Nova's doing the burnout.
Okay.
That was actually the inline six, not the V8. That inline six is a little torque monster.
Yeah, they are.
Elliot, get your ass on freaking camera. Let's go. Thank you, Joey.
They're crazy torque that you can get, especially you work them a little bit, what you can actually get out of them.
Right. Well, I don't know how much working I did on it. I made sure the carb was real good. It had good spark plugs, good wires. I had an upgraded distributor on it. Other than that, there really wasn't much done to it.
You could do some depending on how you want them, you could change cam, do some head porting. Back in the day when they run the dirt modifieds in the track we used to race at, they use those straight sixes. They were limited to them for the engine for the race cars in that class, and them guys were. They were getting 450 horse out of a straight six. It was crazy some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah. I know you can do a lot of things with the straight six. You can actually make them make more power than some of the V8s, mild V8 builds. But anyway, like I said, I was doing a lot of the, I was beating the snot out of that car. So neutral dropping wasn't new to me. But the problem, what I did is I did it on rough, like back alley concrete instead of like the smooth black asphalt out like you would have in a parking lot.
Right. It just grabbed.
And the tires bit. And what happened was it wrapped the leaf springs. And when the leaf springs unwound, it threw the back end of the car up in the air. And what happened then is that the tires, obviously now not having anything to worry about traction wise, because they were just free spin, they were free, they were up in the air. When it came back down, obviously, well, now you have the full weight of the car, and the car is not moving, and the tires are spinning at 20, 30 miles an hour.
Coming down on the dry concrete.
It sheared 7 teeth off. Right, it sheared 7 teeth off the ring gear.
Oh,
like just gone. They were sheared them completely straight down to the main part of the ring gear, and it messed the pinion all up. That's the damage that I found when I pulled it all apart. But that was only a little 7-inch rear, or 7.5-inch, whatever size they are.
and you didn't bother or significantly worry about doing anything with it. It was easier just to
that point, yes, I went and called around, and I was looking for a new ring and pinion for it, and nobody had ring and pinions in stock for a 7-inch. Obviously, nobody builds 7 inches. At least not to the point to where somebody's going to keep shit for it in stock. So we went to the junkyard, and we went looking for another 70s muscle car to pull one out of, and I did the measurements, and I thought the measurements were correct. I didn't realize that everything was wrong. So we went and pulled this sucker. We got lucky. We went through the junkyard, and here was this like 81 Firebird with air shock rear suspension, and its ass was all up in the ground, all up in the air, ready for the plucking. Somebody had already put it up on one of those like tilt racks. So the back end was already all up in the air. So we took the leaf springs. We took the rear sway bar, and we took the rear. The shocks were garbage, so we didn't take those. And so we did all that. And I took we had to take the one leaf spring off to get it into the truck. And when I took the leaf spring off, we found out that the leaf spring was garbage. It was cracked in half. So we got it home, took the other leaf spring off. That was also cracked in half. So the leaf springs were no good. Went to go throw it up underneath the car using my old leaf springs. And we realized that the leaf springs didn't fit in the leaf spring holders, in the perches on the rear itself. So then that's when we realized we had to cut it down. And then when we had to cut it down, obviously that shortened the distance between the leaf spring perches, and then the rear sway bar didn't work anymore.
Yeah, that left you with a whole lot of what modifications you were willing to make to be able to use the car.
Well, the only thing I ended up being able to use was the rear end, with the modifying to the spring perches. But in doing so, that also meant that I then had to shorten the drive shaft. And at this point in time, that was my daily driver. I had to be at work the next day. Needless to say, I didn't make it to work for a week. I shouldn't say I didn't make it to work. The car was down for a week, and I had to hitch a ride back to. This was down in Wommelsdorf on 422 down here near outside of Reading, and I was working in Reading. That's a half-hour drive back to Reading.
Okay.
I was living in Reading. I was living outside of Reading at the time, but not all the way out in Wommelsdorf.
Well, let's give you a surprise, Sean. You wanted someone new in? Say hello to Miss Formula. I'm going to fuel the truck real quick, and I'll hand the headset to her.
I didn't realize you were with him.
No, she's not. She just got here. I stopped a few of the trucks. She come to pick me up.
Oh, okay. Hello. Say hi to the live stream.
Hello.
So Mrs. Formula has decided to pop out of the chat and show up inside the truck.
After a 10-minute delay or 15-minute delay.
Yeah, I was wondering where you went in the chat.
Yeah. I disappeared. I hopped in a Trans Am and ran away.
Which Trans Am did you hop in?
The 84.
The 84.
The 84.
That's one of the newer ones you guys picked up, right?
Yes. We got that one in October.
Yeah, I think you picked that up within the last. Yeah, I was gonna say it was within the last year.
Yes.
And to answer Lola's thingy about $6.66 towards a lot, I won't get that money. When you guys do the super chat, it it's not like it dumps into my money immediately. It actually rolls into my AdSense. So literally, I won't get that till my AdSense pops over $100, and then obviously I had to wait like a half a month after that. So I won't get that money at least until probably sometime in June. But it's going to take more than $6.66 might get me from here to the edge of Maryland. Thinking, as far as gas wise. No. That's okay. You can party. Do you know what? I forgot to ask. What is everybody's beverage of choice tonight? Mrs. Formula, what are you drinking? Are you drinking water as well today?
No, I actually pulled out a birch beer.
There we go.
Imported birch beer. It had to come all the way from Pennsylvania.
I was going to say, that better be a Dutch. Have you ever tried the yeast root beer?
No, I have not.
They make that really good out here.
Okay.
If you're out in the Bethel area, there's a few spots in the back area that you can stop where they literally have like a little hut on the side of the road.
Okay.
And because it's Pennsylvania in the backwoods, you literally go up and you put your money in the jar, and you open up the fridge and you take out, like, I get the big mason jar, and it's literally birch beer made with yeast. So it's not carbonated. It's not carbonated with like carbonated air. It gets its carbonation from the yeast.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. Definitely different though.
Yeah, I'll bet. It would definitely have a different flavor.
I don't know. I like it. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this in the chat, but you guys can now do super stickers and super chats. So you can actually post cool little stickers in the chat too. I don't know how to do it just yet. I haven't figured that one out, but I know you can do it because mine told me I can when I first logged in today. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Yeah, there it is. Super stickers. I don't know how much they are though. Oh wow. But yeah, you can actually post stickers in the chat as well now. Thought that was cool. Mine aren't loading though. It doesn't help if they don't load. I'm also going to be revamping my Teespring lineup if you guys haven't checked that out recently. So a lot of the old designs might be going. So if there was any ones that you had that you wanted, you might want to go check them out soon before I pull them off. Just saying. Because I got my new toy and I want to make up some new t-shirt designs. Oh, what are we talking about in chat? Were we talking about the tees range in price or the stickers range in price? Actually had a pretty good stream tonight, at least so far. Though we didn't reach above 12 viewers at one time tonight. Ugh. And I'm still waiting for Eli to show up in the chat. He keeps it up. He's gonna miss getting on. So out of all of your fleet of vehicles there, Mrs. Formula, which one is your favorite?
That's a tough call because right now the only ones I have at the house that are drivers of the Firebirds are the 84 and the 71. The 68 is still in pieces in the trailer.
Well, it doesn't have to be together because, like, I could say my favorite one is my 79, and it's not on the road either.
Yeah.
But you know, the one that has my heart though is my Nova, because that was my first muscle car.
Yeah. The 68 is a convertible, and I'm excited to get to drive it. I've never driven it. I bought it. And friend of mine bought it in California. Friend of mine brokered the deal, and then he took it back to his house and was going to clean the engine bay, and then it snowballed from there into being taken apart. So,
well, that's kind of how my Trans Am was. My Trans Am, you know, originally I was not going to touch that car. I was literally just going to drive it, and that was going to be my driver until I got the Nova done.
Right.
But then the motor went, and then the transmission went, and then I had the electrical issue, and now I've got both of them somewhat fixed, and then I realized I had the body mount issue. When in the process of fixing the body mount issue, I ran into the giant hunk of rust in the front driver's side front corner.
Let's see, that was the problem we ran into with the 68.
Yeah, you just start chasing your tail, fixing problems.
Right. And next thing you know, you have floor pans taken off and rocker panels stripped out. And it's sitting on
I'm not willing to go that far. If I really wanted to go that far, the bottom of the A post on the Trans Am has a little bit of rot that I could actually dig into and fix right now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to dig in that far right now. I'm at the point where I just want to get it back together, get it running, and get it driving, and drive it for a while. And I really want to get the Nova in, and I want to do the wild and crazy things to the Nova. Meanwhile, also practice things like hanging quarters and, you know, that stuff, because I don't want to practice hanging quarters on the TA.
Right.
I know the TA needs the passenger side rear quarter, just the back half from the wheel well to the bumper. That needs to be cut out and redone because it was done wrong. It's not rotted. It's just the patchwork that was done before was done wrong, and the bumper doesn't fit where it's supposed to.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much you know about those cars. I mean, you own a bunch of them, so you might know. But they have that plate that goes on the inside the trunk.
Right.
And then the bumper goes up against the edge of that rear lower quarter, and then that plate goes on and sandwiches everything together.
Right.
So no, that plate goes on the it goes the rear quarter with the studs, and then it goes no, the plate has the studs. All right, so it's the rear quarter, the bumper, then the plate with the studs go through all of that, sandwich it in, and then there's a nut on the inside in the trunk, two or three nuts that sandwich all that stuff together. Okay. Well, the line of the bumper does not match the line on the quarter. So I can't put that plate in and bolt all that up together because they don't line up.
Gotcha.
That line is all wrong.
Right.
So that means cutting it all back out and putting a new one in and making sure all that lines up before welding it in.
Right.
So I got to redo somebody's bad work. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not really worried about fixing any of that stuff right now. I just want to get the car to the point to where I can drive it.
Yeah.
But right now, actually, the point is just to get the car out of the shop to the point to where I can fire it up and move it until I get the truck done. That is the current mode of operation.
Yeah.
Because the truck doesn't do me any good sitting in the field, and it's either that or I'm going to sell the truck.
Yeah.
Which might be a possibility.
What is the truck?
2001 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 360 in it, but it's the off-road edition.
Okay.
So it's worth probably around, but it's got like 265,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
With very minimal rust.
And those are
which
hard
is
to
really
find.
rare for those trucks. Right. So I don't know how much it actually would be worth, but I'm thinking that I'm not going to get more than $2,000 for that truck with the transmission being down.
Right. And because of the high mileage.
Right. So, you know, is it worth selling the truck at that point?
Right.
I don't know. Just stuff I got to figure out. So I'm wondering if Game of Thrones is over yet, and if I can actually get people in here on the, you know, instead of watching Game of Thrones.
I think it's over because everybody was complaining about how it ended.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Tonight was the last episode.
Was it tonight? Okay. I couldn't get into it. It just did not appeal to me.
Well, my Jess has gotten me into it. I'm now like episode 10 of season. No, I'm beginning of season 3.
Okay.
And I just started watching it probably less than a week ago.
I tried to watch it and I just could not get into it.
Oh, I love it. But then again, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons fan, and I read like all the Dragon Riders of Pern and McCaffrey series books, which are all about dragons.
Yeah, I've read a lot of stuff like that too, and I just, for whatever reason, this particular series just didn't draw me.
Yeah.
Now the book, I've downloaded the book to read it, and I
haven't read the book.
Time to read it, but it might draw me. But
The
TV series just didn't do it.
We are having major weather event outside.
I can hear it.
I'm not sure how much was coming through, but it's.
I heard that
raining
one.
It's raining and lightning significantly outside.
Can't see the lightning.
Like,
I heard that thunder.
I don't know. Like this is my window here. This is actually. This used to be my dining room table. Used to be right here. It's now over there.
Yeah, I saw that lightning.
There you go. I'm not sure if you can see that one. We'll just cover that back up there. But we need to get the chat going again, man. We're down to 5 viewers and no chat. Normally this would be my second win. I get people that pop in here for the second half, and I guess certain people are not coming in today.
Well, let's see.
Oh, wait.
Last weekend I clay barred the formula. And Friday night I polished it.
So not to change the subject back to where we just were.
Go ahead.
But what was I saying about Game of Thrones?
It just ended?
No. I asked Matthew back at like 10 o'clock whether or not he was getting on tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like this is just a snippet of my live stream chat.
Watching Game of Thrones. Sorry, bud.
I got ditched for Game of Thrones.
Poor you.
That's okay. I gotta find out where I gotta find out who's actually wanting to do live streams anymore because I mean, other than Jason, which he normally is here, but he's on vacation.
Yeah.
Like all of my regulars that I used to have in here, up from like 9 to 10, because I have like 2 shifts. I have the 9 to 10 shift,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have like the 10 till whenever the fuck we decide to go to bed shift.
Right.
My 9 to 10 shift, which is actually the I kind of need that shift. That's the beginning of the stream. It's kind of a little lack for luster right now. I mean, I got Chris, which again, that is nothing against Chris. It's not saying Chris isn't good enough, but it's more fun when you have more people.
Right.
And I
Definitely.
used to have 4. Like my first hour, I would have 4 or 5 people lined up talking and chilling with us.
Sure.
And now I'm lucky if I have 1.
Yeah, and definitely the more people you have, the more subjects you can cover.
Well, it's also the more the discussion gets going.
Right.
So it's no fun when you don't have anybody to chat with.
Yeah. Are you ready?
But,
Okay.
they probably got another. There's another. I'm also probably competing with another live stream apparently. That's the other good thing about my live stream going for so long. Like normal live streams are normally half hour long, so I can normally catch people can pop in.
Okay.
They have.
Hi, Elliot.
They have one stream that they watch, and then they have other ones. So it's nice because I can normally catch them somewhere in there because I'm on for a good span of time.
Sure.
And thank you, Grim, for still chilling in here with us. I understand. It's always I don't really get good service out in the garage, or I would chill in live streams while working. But yeah,
all right.
it's the garage I work at. There's only one.
I'm gonna give you back to Chris. I've got to go park the car. Move. He's got to park the truck, and I've got to move the car.
Noted.
All right, see ya. And welcome aboard, Elliot.
Yay!
Yeah, she brought the Dark Knight out tonight.
Oh my Christ! I just wait for like 3 things to update, and then my overclocking utility is like, "Hey, wait! You finally turned me on." And I'm like, "No, I didn't." Damn thing.
Number 6 in the fleet, the 84 Trans Am.
I am down 2 so far. This is the last of the second one.
J-Bus.
And apparently I'm the only one drinking. Well, I'm not sure if don't think I'm the only. I might be. Yeah, actually, I think I'm the only one drinking tonight as far as adult beverages.
Well, I mean, if Chris were to, technically they'd be against the law.
Well, yes, we already covered that.
YouTube frowns upon that.
He was during that time. So, and I know Pinky's probably still in here, and she's probably listening while she's doing her thing because that's what she normally does. Because I know Pinky. Jess doesn't have to listen to me because she's in the other room. She's probably preferring she didn't have to listen to me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Rip.
So we were playing around that music streaming service that I had picked the other day.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing around with that. I'm kind of curious as to some of the other songs that we're on because we're kind of dead right now anyway. Well, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just randomly picking stuff.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. It's better than the shit. That's what I was saying. It's better than the stuff you find just randomly on YouTube.
Yeah.
That was kind of soft.
Well, that's very soft.
See, and I don't have to worry about getting in trouble or having to claim any of the stuff in the bottom of the video.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
No. Oops. I logged myself out apparently. I could definitely see me using some of that stuff in my my Firebird videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of, you know, some of the crappy shit that I end up having to.
It's California weather, it's like 90 degrees. It's making me hot, and it has the same effect on me. It's just something about the way that it's making me feel. My insides are out, I just wanna shout his name out. My body's giving up on me, cause I don't know what to do with my fingertips.
But no, they're not paying me for any of this. I'm just.
Or are they?
This one's got Nova in the name. It's called Hotbox.
Hell.
That seems to be it. I think that one's a little left to be desired. It's a nice slow piece for like doing a montage.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! Way to go, pilot.
Hmm.
Now, if only I can get you to go get me a beer.
Well, I'm sure when we perfect the science of teleportation, we won't have to worry about that anymore.
Right. I'm bouncing all over the place.
You screwed up.
This is all the stuff on their latest category.
Into a beer bottle full of water.
Glass bottles.
Oh, well, you're just cruel.
Yeah, that would be cruel.
Yeah. Rare treat. That's it. She brought the Dark Knight out.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know what you can see.
Yeah, I heard.
Number 6 bird in the fleet, 84 Trans Am.
There is not a plane in my dining room, I swear. Hold on, let me click that set we wasn't showing up first. Hold on, Chris. There we go. There you go, Chris. You saw the PA. Now we can actually see it. Let's see. kinds of cool freaking sounds. Yeah, that sound effects library is freaking just amazing. Doesn't even tell me how many sound effects. It's just
They definitely build these cars for tall people.
oh,
And I'm
well,
a
I
short
can't see
shit,
over the
so
dashboard.
I'm cramped in the passenger side.
I'm just randomly playing through different sound effects.
Notice.
Playing sound effects.
Yeah, but that's like literally like, you know how hard it is to find sound effects that you can literally use without getting copyrighted on the internet, without creating them yourself.
Probably near impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody has them. Like, I literally was looking for a record scratch for my one video. I spent 3 hours looking for a record scratch. You know, like the sound, like when somebody's like when you like.
Yeah.
Let's say you're trying to. No, just like that, like instant stop to that. You know, that kind of noise. Couldn't find it. It took me forever. I bet you I could find it on in here. Hold on.
Probably.
So I gather the cat hasn't made the Superman leap yet tonight.
Nope. That's not
Yeah,
it.
that's definitely not a record scratching. If a record scratch sounds like that, I'd be concerned.
Be an interesting phonograph, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Tarantulas.
So what strikes you whenever you use something like that, Sean? Does it just depend on the video or the situation you're in when you find something, or?
What do you mean? The fact of looking for these.
Your sound
The
effects
fact of going to
that
the.
you use.
Oh, well, I mean, there's like sound effects and stuff like that. I mean, there's sometimes where, like, say you're grinding on something or whatever, and the sound doesn't come out right. So sometimes you got to fake in that sound, or, you know, just different things. You know, or like, just say the camera didn't pick up the sound, or you can't use the sound from the video, so you have to overdub it. You know,
Okay.
just different things. There's different reasons why. I mean, you look at a lot of the times what you see in the videos themselves. A lot of time, what you don't realize, it may not be the original sound from the clip. You know, even just somebody like skateboarding down the road. You know, they may have had to go back and record the sound of the skateboard rolling on the concrete.
Okay.
Because the camera didn't pick up the sound good enough in the original footage. You know, and then sometimes you just, you know, you want to throw in a funny sound, like, you know, you whack your finger with a thumb, so you make a, you know, You whack your finger with a hammer, whatever. Shut up. But you know what I mean? And so you want a funny sound like you would be in a cartoon, you know? There's all kinds of different reasons why you would use different sound effects.
Whack your thumb with a finger. The easiest one you can use is Yosemite Sam cussing.
You can't use that anymore. Yosemite Sam is banned. Do you ever notice there's no Yosemite Sam in any of the Looney Tunes cartoons anymore?
Sad.
He's a banned character.
Bad influence.
No, he's a banned character. The Dumbo, the original version of Dumbo, you will never see it because of the crow scene and the drinking.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Pinocchio, that whole scene where he gets basically sold into the slavery, you know, where all the little boys get turned into donkeys. That scene's not allowed either.
They don't allow nothing anymore.
Nope. What is it? The Down South whole movie isn't allowed. What is another one? What is it? The Burr Rabbit. I think it's another Disney cartoon that you will never see re-released. So unless you have an original copy or can find one, you're never gonna see that. Just all kinds of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just gotten too sensitive, crazy over some really dumb shit anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Everybody's too fucking oversensitive for their own damn freaking good.
Like the ones that'll complain
still
you
trying to
can't
find
park
that.
there. I'm already parked. Sorry for your luck.
I know, right?
Or the classic ones when we have to do a street delivery and you got someone that's double parked on the curb. They come out and start yelling and screaming, I can't get out. I need to move. Well, you're shit out of luck till I'm done. I'm not. My doors are open. We're unloading. Look at the sign. No parking from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Unloading zone.
Yep.
Luckily, we don't get that. I got an Amazon place we deliver to. It's like that. Thankfully, it's a one-way street, but you unload literally in the street because you can't get into the facility with a truck. You got to park in the truck, drag the pallet to the tail, drop it on the ground if it's light enough. And a lot of times you get a box by box and then stack it on their cart and take it inside.
All right. All of the car sounds. Shut up. No more car horns, damn it.
Plenty of horns.
Car parking brake. That's just, goddamn, all the freaking stupid little sounds. I have not explored this as much as I am right now. Night, pilot.
Oh, see ya.
I don't make a lot of noise when I whack myself. What the fuck?
I feel like that's a double entendre.
Probably. Jeez, I could pick my own car starter. Wait, no, this is probably more like it.
Oh. Jeez.
Oh, boy.
I imagine a lot of those you
I'm up
could
to
apply
page
to the old
46.
Keystone Cop silent movies.
Well, I mean, the thing is a lot of movies use sound effects like this too. You don't think that they actually use the original, the original noises from different things. Oh, here you go, F16.
Oh, Christ. Well, from like 3 miles away.
Ford Escort.
This ought to be good.
It was just a fucking horror. Huh?
The driver doesn't sound too happy.
No, he's driving a Ford Escort. How happy do you want him to be?
Touche.
Back from the medevac zone.
GT 500 KR2. Fucking all kinds of sounds. Helicopter. I have managed to chase away all the viewers. We're down to 2 viewers.
That's probably just you and me.
Probably. Jet passing, jet skis. Murphy Sable, Los Angeles, USA city traffic.
Pretty much you name it, huh?
Yeah, I'm up to 82 pages so far.
Good Lord.
You can
These
spend
and
a whole night going
windshield
through that
wipers.
library.
I know, it's like really, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're
Like,
about ready to
like,
pull back
as
into the
we-
hacienda over here, so we'll cut you loose for now. We'll catch up with you all next week.
Alrighty.
All right, I probably might end it here, and because obviously we don't have anybody left in the chat, so.
No.
But all right,
Sean,
good night,
thanks again
guys,
for
and
having us
thank you
on.
guys all for joining. And I will catch you guys next week. Every week, man, every week.